Hey there, TigerShark here again with Okano. For this week I played two games. The first one is called Space Gladiators: The Whole. It's called a prelude, which is basically just a demo in this case. It's made by Blobfish, the same dev that made Brotato. They seem to have a weird theme of potatoes that they run with. Anyway, Space Gladiators is a roguelike platformer. It plays very similarly to Hollow Knight, but instead of the meticulously crafted areas, you have randomized combat rooms. It's very much a mashup of Hollow Knight and The Binding of Isaac. The game is pretty fun and well made. I don't feel like I have a ton to say other than that. The combat is fun, basically like Hollow Knight. The enemies are weird and varied like The Binding of Isaac. The one boss that I fought was pretty funny. I loved his sound effects. The sound effects for the normal enemies were pretty funny too. There's a lot of items and weapons you can pick up that change the way you play again, like The Binding of Isaac. I feel like I actually don't have anything else to say other than strong recommend for this one. I'll probably snag the full game at some point. So I'll talk about another game I played. It's called Drawngeon Dungeons of Ink and Paper. I don't usually play Steam games on this channel, but I got both of these from there. I must have gotten this one from Humble Bundle or something because I don't remember buying it. I haven't gotten super far into it, but I enjoyed what I did play. I don't think I have a ton to say, but I'll go over what I liked and disliked. First off, I love the hand-drawn art. It's unique, and as an artist who tends to draw in this simplistic black and white style myself, I have a soft spot for it. The way the objects visually and audibly tear as you cut them is a really nice touch as well. It makes you really feel like you're living in a world of actual paper. You heal yourself with inkwells, which is pretty funny and works well thematically. As I said, I haven't gotten far, but the variety of enemies and items is already fairly impressive. There doesn't really seem like there's much of a story, but maybe I just didn't get far enough. The NPCs mostly just seem to give you little quests or sell you stuff. I'm definitely going to spend more time with this one. I do have a couple negatives to say though. First off, the lack of music can be a little off-putting. There is general ambient sound, particularly in the dungeons, but that's not the same. The footsteps end up being loud and overly prominent because of this. I say this a lot in my reviews, but I think most indie devs don't do footstep sounds very well. They have to be quiet enough that it's not the only thing you're listening to. Maybe it's just a me problem, but once I notice it, it's all I can hear. Good music can drown it out or even blend with it so it's not just a constant and repetitive annoyance. This is maybe a little nitpicky, but I have to talk about it since I noticed it and it's very common. Another thing was the movement system. I don't really mind the grid-based system generally, but I end up feeling very restricted, almost claustrophobic. You have a little bit of camera movement, but not much. I ended up just wishing it was a fully free camera and movement system. The grid restriction didn't feel like it was necessary to me. It's not a deal breaker, but I find exploration in this manner a little difficult in first person like this. Overall though, I give this one a recommend. I like the art in the dungeons and the enemies. Watch out for mimics, by the way. So that's all for this one, and as always I hope you have a spectacular day. I have other channels and projects that I would love for you to check out. I have a second channel called Drawing with TigerShark, where I illustrate movies I haven't seen based on the Wikipedia description. I have an EP on Spotify called 5,555 Miles as my one-man band called Power Mouse. And finally, I have a clothing brand called Studio Duck Apparel featuring original artwork that I create myself. The links to these things will all be in the description.